Hi everyone, I'm Veronica Bartolini with Codebreaker Real Talk, and guess who we have today after like 2 years?
Yes.
Aurelia Codes.
Hi.
Hi Mama, how are you?
I'm good. How are
Good.
you?
I'm good now.
I'm so glad about that.
Yes, we just had to clear some things. We were having some
Yes.
technical issues and some other issues, but we're good now.
Yeah.
I'm just really happy to have you, Aurelia, because the last time you were here was about maybe 2 years ago, and you were going through some
Yes.
things.
Yes.
And you were like trying to see, well, what the heck happened? And we found out together that you, as well as I, are walk-ins. And so after that show that we did, a lot of people came to me, in text form and also in the comments saying, "Oh my gosh, we have to have more shows like this. Aurelia is awesome. I learned a lot." And then even after Aurelia makes beautiful things just like her backdrop here, she just started going and going and just she even does sound therapy now. She even does tarot. I mean, this star seed crystal bean is amazing. So welcome back to the show, Aurelia, and let everybody know what have you been up to and how, a little bit
Thank
about
you
the
so
walk-in
much.
thing. And yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, so it's been a big journey of integration, and actually, the last time that we spoke, I hadn't fully integrated my whole like walk-in experience. Like it happened consciously, but I hadn't like fully accepted it and integrated the whole timeline. So I was kind of talking. It's really interesting to watch back on the interview because I was kind of talking from the perspective of like the body or the first soul. So those of you who haven't heard of a walk-in, or maybe you have and you just would like to hear this again, basically, a walk-in is a type of soul exchange. It's a soul contract usually where two souls will kind of share an incarnation. I consider this physical body to be like one continuous incarnation, and it's just been shared between two souls who kind of also share a contract. So this often will happen when there's like a near death experience, or when someone gets to like a crossroads in their life and they have a very strong intention. Sometimes it's like an optional thing that's sort of put there, it's like penciled in, like if this happens and you call for it, then we can have this exchange. And sometimes it does happen, and with me it did, and it was very confusing for a while. And there's been a lot to integrate, a lot to clear up, a lot of like kind of tying up loose ends. Um, I basically, like everyone that was in my life before, other than family, are gone now. Not gone, like they didn't like cross over or anything, but they just fell out of resonance because this is like I'm a different soul. We don't have the same contracts. There's one childhood friend and one friend from um, like when I basically left home, like before I was fully Aurelia. So yeah, also the other thing I was kind of going into before um, is that I kind of came in phases because it's not easy work, like you'll know, like being a walk-in. Like there's a lot to bring in, and the physical body, especially when it already has a soul and it's used to a certain way of operating and a certain way of being, it's not always so easy to bring in new. So it's like it can be done in parts, and so parts of my consciousness began coming in to this body while the other soul was here, as far back as 2011. And it was actually November, I think it was the 11th, 2011, like it was a 1111 kind of alignment. Um, and there was kind of a big shift in personality, like overnight, um, as like this energy, like my energy kind of came in. But I wasn't so much involved there, like with the life. I was just kind of there. It was kind of a way to like anchor, to be there kind of like as an option for the future to kind of take over the contract, like kind of like if things got too much is the way I understand it. um, I don't come with all of my memory of like where I was before, but slowly parts do come back. And when it first happened, I actually didn't have any of the memories of the previous soul that was with this body from birth. That all went away, and I didn't recognize like the family. It was like a complete relearning process. Like I had to relearn a lot. Like I had to relearn how to um, actually like function, like use my physical body, like cook. Um, there was a time when it was like I kind of could, it wasn't easy to use my legs. Things like this, it's like you go right back. It's like almost like being born, except as an adult. It's yeah, just not easy for a soul to come into a body, basically.
Do you remember who that the twin soul was, or do you have like a feeling of who it was, a mental picture, or it's just your soul just being entwined twin?
So yeah, it's really interesting you asked that because I used to wonder. I thought, is this like of the same oversoul? Is this like a someone I had past lives with, like a twin sister or something? But I was kind of getting that it's possibly from the same monad because, or it's either that or just because I had kind of connected at previous points, it was supposed to be a kind of smoother integration, not so noticeable. But it has been a bit noticeable, I think, to people that know me. Um, but yeah, basically, my understanding is actually that I helped the original. Sorry, knocking things over. I helped the original soul to actually be born from the other side. So that linked us. Um, yeah.
That's what I get to, because there's a lot of people that I've spoken to that say um there's a lot of videos out there too that explain how we were male and female at one point, and how the way I see it is when we come in, like I remember coming in as a shooting star, and that's when the 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 light came out of my heart when I said, isn't there
Yeah.
anything out there that loves me? Some, like, not the gods here of earth, not the gods of the Bible, wannabe gods, you know what I'm saying? If there's anything out there, because I had already died, I had already done the near death experience, and I said, if there's anything out there that truly loves me, that is God, that is like higher. I don't like to call it God. Something that,
Me neither.
right, yeah, because we've been
Been
so
through a lot.
programmed here with
Yeah.
religion that it's like I don't even believe in God here. Like, not this God, not these things that are, in the books, and and
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
because
just like, yeah, much deeper in some way. And
deeper, yes,
it's like more simple, but
yeah,
yeah, just.
yeah. It's like we come in, and then like somehow our souls get split when we are born, either from the womb or from our, like me, I was coming from the heart, the walk-in. Um, And for the longest time, I thought, well, maybe my father's here with me, or maybe, for a longest time too, there's with the super soldier program that I was in, I'm like, well, maybe it's Max Spears coming in through me
Mm,
for the longest time. But I can no longer think that way, because it's me coming in. It's the
yeah,
twin
the
side of
resonance.
me,
Yeah.
right? We cannot be thinking outside of us. We all have a male and female part. So when I came into this body, the body that I came into was sick, and it was weighing 274 pounds. Sick. I had gone through the divorce, I had gone through the near death experience, and so
Mm,
re
yeah,
I had
like
to
rebuild.
shed. Yeah, I had to make this
Yeah.
body new. And just
Yeah.
recently, January, because I had 3 surgeries to take out the cancer, and then I had the 2 blood transfusions.
Oh my gosh.
I feel that I'm a new person now, and I'm still celibate, and I'm happy about that. How is it that you were,
Me too.
huh?
Me too. It must
right?
be a walk-in thing.
Tell me more. I know you told me a little bit the last video, but tell me more.
Yeah, well, there was nothing, I don't know if there's anything about that then, but I just kind of, I don't know, it's like my energy, it's just in a different place. It kind of sits here, and it's just like I've got so much mission to do that I'm like just not like interested in like
Yeah.
yeah, like physical relationships like at all, really.
Yeah.
I don't know if it will stay that way, but that seems to be how
I
it
think
is at the moment,
it's
and it's protective to me.
maybe
And
it's the male part because did you I recently when all this happened, I feel like more my male energy came in
it's
and took and
interesting.
like said, "No, Veronica, I'm gonna take care of you." Like the baby, you
Oh.
know, I always talk about the baby being in our heart, but I'm like, maybe the male energy of mine's like, "No, we're done with men. We're done with dating.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
So
don't
I
need it."
think I think for me both were kind of neither like neither gender, but not in a way like both really just embracing being female. But then recently I've kind of tapped into this. It's still from feminine, but it's more of a like I want to say like a more what people know as like the masculine like on earth, which I don't necessarily think is. I think a lot of that is like a perception. But I've been really connecting with like the sun and like kind of divine will and like strength and stuff, which is really helping me be here and like inhabit the body. And I feel like it's kind of like it's a balance of both. And I think everyone has like a different balance of that, those energies for different purposes and the way that they're encoded.
Yes, the sun is very important. It gives us our life. I make sure that I look at I stare at the sun um every day, and that is what nourishes, you know, the body. Now the other
Yeah.
side of me, we'll call it the empirical side. Oh, I just want to wear dark glasses. I don't want to be outside. I just want to be in my dark room and very cold, and that's the only way that I can go to sleep.
I have those both too.
You too?
Yeah, I don't wear dark glasses, but I did when I was first coming here. And I was very nocturnal, like completely like nocturnal until decided like I was feeling so drained and so out of sync with everything that I just had to force myself to wake up with the sun. And then I started to kind of receive the sun's codes and communication with the sun.
Yeah, that and that's so weird because when I go to sleep, it's when like maybe 6 in the morning when the sun is coming up.
Yeah,
And
I was like 3, 4 in the morning,
I literally had
sometimes later.
right? I literally had the alarm clock for an hour before the show. And guess what? I slept 40 minutes through. And I'm like, and I was in the astral fighting for my army benefits, and I had my police uniform, and I said, "Look, I need my benefits." And then this woman was saying, "Oh no, you're going to talk about the, you know, the shot that they gave you, the anthrax shot." No, and then they put another male in there, and they're trying to fight with me in the astral about it, and I'm
Oh
trying
my
to plead my
gosh.
case, and I wake up and I'm like, "Wait a minute, Aurelia and I have a show today." And
Wow.
I still have a hard
Oh my
time
gosh.
sleeping at night. And so what you
Oh.
said is
Mm.
that you force yourself no matter what to get up with the
To
sun
wake up
and
with
go
the sun.
outside?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I
Yeah,
need to
yeah,
do.
I do this deliberate thing. It was ever since I did this. I just because I'd be so resistant to everything. Like people be like, get outside, like la la. And it was when I finally just decided, okay, I'm gonna like just let light into my eyes, like consciously let light into my eyes. And sometimes it might just be from the window, other times I will go outside, sometimes barefoot and just connect in and like deliberately like let the light in and it kind of wakes me up and then I'll have like a drink of water and it just helps to wake up and kind of yeah, just like synchronize with the physical cuz yeah, it's definitely like I think it's a lot to do with that cuz when we're energized and connected with the sun and then it feels almost like we're kind of forced to actually be here and like inhabit this place and it's like something I found was like such a like an imprint of like I don't want to be part of this like this place oh like it kind of sucks and I don't want to be part of that so it was like just like being stuck as like I don't know like a seed or something
Well,
and
that's
not
how I
able
feel
to be
too.
planted.
I always tell myself, I'm done. I don't want to be here. I'm done. And it's like, no, you still have so much to do. And I do walk barefoot at in the evening, like when the sun is coming down, is the hardest
Yeah.
for me to live on earth is when the sun is coming down.
Mm.
So when I go walk my Lola, I take off my shoes and I walk in the grass, and that just makes me feel loved. I don't know how to explain it.
Mm.
Like I feel like the my root chakra is going, you know, in sync in and out like through my crown chakra, and it just feels so good to be grounded in the grass. And we have horses here too and cows, and I'm always petting the cows,
Oh.
and my Lola just stares at them, and they stare at her, and I have that moment. And I draw strength from the horses too, and I say, please help me, because I
Yes.
it's really hard to be here, huh, Aurelia? What do you do?
Yeah.
So how long did that process take you? And what did you do when you were
A
like
long
mad
time.
inside saying, I don't want to be here with the
Yeah.
sun,
This, I'm telling you, like, this has been what my experience was till like 3 days ago. Like, it was 3 days ago that I finally, something just clicked for me. And what I realized was it was like the pineal is like, it's been so under attack, like internally in the environment, and it's our connection with the sun here that it's supposed to be has been like impeded, and so the connection is incomplete, and so we have like a horrible experience because the sun is actually supposed to, it's like with the cells, it's supposed to like bring us the nutrients that we need and the experiences that we need and everything to back that up, and it's supposed to kind of be instant. It's not supposed to be hard like it is here, and people teach about stuff like law of attraction and all of this, and it's like I feel like it's not even exactly like that. It's supposed to just be like the law of like what I was getting was like divine provision. It's supposed to just be like you look at the sun, you communicate, and then like you go there, you know where to go, the path is eliminated, and it's just kind of instantaneous, you're nourished. And that's how it's supposed to be. So I was realizing that, and this is also where I kind of got this like download of like what divine will is, and it was like just suddenly I was shown, it was like, oh, like, because I was just really wanting to be able to help the world more, and feeling limited. And I'm like, what's missing? Like, what am I not doing? And it was just like, kind of in communication with the sun, it was just like, it's like, you're not willing to be here. You're not willing to be part of this. It's like, and if you're not willing to be part of this, then how can you receive anything? Because how would it make sense to like receive the resources and everything if you're trying to go away? Like, you don't want to be here. So it would almost like feel bad to receive the resources to be here because that would almost like feel like it would bind you here. So that's why a lot of us struggle with this, because it's like I'm here but I like want to get away, but our higher soul knows how this place is supposed to be, has the codes for it, so close to like actually making that connection again, like energizing the pineal, connecting to like the great central sun and like the galactic center, like inside and outside, and restoring that connection. And it was also that my realization that we came in here knowing that this place was like a mess. We came in here as like people who have the correct coding and are here to like make repairs. And then it's just that we get so distracted by everything being so wrong when we're here and we feel it, that like we become like bittered by it all and like so in pain from it all that we get lost. And then it's like, I don't want to be here, and it kind of sticks us, and then it's not till we realize and do things to like restore that connection, um, that yeah, it starts to ease.
you know, when you said when we get our codes from the sun, I know we do. What came to me was mana. When,
Mm.
the mana, I say mana, but the mana that came in, for those that, because I studied the Bible for so many years, I was in church for so many years, and I know it's man-made, but there is there are codes in there.
Codes, yeah,
They don't want us to
because it
know.
runs
So,
through everything. Because some of the structure has to be there, or there would be no reality.
yeah. So when the people supposedly were lost and, leaving Egypt or whatever, and those people are not even the Abrahamic people are not even related to us. You know, they're related to the aliens, what they call the I just call them the people above or below the dome. So anyway, when you said that the manna comes from the sun and that's what is actually our food. I did a
Yeah.
34-hour fast, water fast, and I'm like, I needed that
Yeah.
because in reality, we don't need to intake so much food, you know, and but what happens is we're programmed to because of the commercials. As soon as you're watching a movie, what do? They feed you popcorn, right? And we know that the corn is already infiltrated with Monsanto seeds, right? And I was
Yeah, I can't eat corn now. Like all these things have changed for me like since like walking in. And yeah, it's just like corn. It's just I can't.
I I try and eat a lot of I love like the salads. I just love salad. I love it.
I
And
love
fruit.
dark bitter greens. That's
Yeah.
something that I developed a taste for like since walking in.
Yeah.
Um, and like this year, I just gave up sugar entirely because it just felt like it wasn't
I'm proud
resonating
of
in
you.
my
I'm proud of you.
heart.
I had to
Thanks.
give up sugar because of what I had. Um
Hmm.
those cells, the cancer cells, they like
Yeah,
to
it doesn't help
grow.
them.
You know
The
what I find
acidity.
interesting is, Aurelia, I was smoking uh, for after my divorce. I was smoking American Spirits. It was organic cigarettes, right? I
Mm,
don't smoke anymore. It's been, gosh, since 20, it's been a year and a half now.
yeah,
And what I saw was that those tumors were like remaining like at a half, maybe shrunk.
yeah.
And as soon as I stopped smoking, the the tumors got bigger. So there's a secret too with
Yes. I
doing the breath breathing exercises because it builds our aura
think
too.
it's something to do with nitrous oxide, is it? Or do you know
With
about that?
what?
Something to do with nitrous oxide, I think, when we hold the breath in, and that helps to break down tumors and things and regulate the cell activity.
Yeah, it has something to do with that. And it's like, wow, you see the people that smoke usually are thinner, usually,
Yes, yeah,
unless they're eating all the junk food and stuff, the GMO. But
yeah,
I had to stop eating the sugar because I was listening to Dr. Lodi. He's a specialist in that field, and I will do like some organic honey once in a while. But I find
yeah.
it very
I have that
interesting.
too
Yeah, the carbs too,
sometimes.
I had to go keto. But what
Oh
kind of
wow.
foods do you like to eat during?
So I actually, since between like the last time we spoke, I can't remember how much time went past, but I actually got a chronic illness, which I'm still kind of dealing with, but it's a lot, I feel a lot more empowered with it. But it was really scary. It was just basically stuff with my stomach, like just searing pain that no one could figure out anything. Like all tests looked normal, but yet I would be like, it would be anytime I couldn't really go out or anything because the pain was so bad, and it would be just like someone was like turning it up, turning it up, turning it up, and like it was like a burning, like if you like burn yourself like on something really really hot and like but within. And I just wished like at the time I was just like, oh, I wish I could just like pass out right now, it'd be so much better. And I was like, ah, like I'll take anything please, like just to make this pain stop. And I'd be like screaming for like 2 hours and like crying with it, and this would keep happening. And no one could do anything. They're like, well, you look healthy. Like, all your blood tests are healthy. I'm like, well, this is not like, I really, really didn't want to be here like with that. And yeah, it was just like so desperate to find things. But what that actually did, that experience, it kind of like got me out of like anything big pharma because nothing was working. Like, I even got hospitalized and they were like, doing giving me all these different like pain medications. None of them worked. And I even had like morphine. And I remember the reason I knew it was working is because I had this ear piercing that just wouldn't quite heal, and it would always be a little bit like tender and sore, and I couldn't even feel my ear, but yet the stomach pain was still going. And they just sent me home like, oh well, we don't know what it is, and just sent me home like that. So that that's really
But
challenging.
how did it go finally away? Because I
It's
didn't
not
really
fully
want to.
away. I think the last time I had a really bad flirt was maybe a few weeks ago, but it
What I
is,
see, Aurelia,
yeah.
and I don't know if you've ever listened to the shows where we talk about or you hear this lady, young lady, her name is Sabrina Wallace, and she talks about how she used to work for US Whitewater and how she saw that we were all connected with our silver cords through IBM
Mm,
underground, and how DARPA will send the drones above your home and will shock you in your body. We have implants. Now, I've talked about before when we're born, they put an implant behind your head to mark you. What do? They prick your little feet, one of your feet, to make sure you're that blood type, to make sure you are that star seed that they saw coming
yeah.
in. And we supposedly
You
we
did
have an
so
implant
much.
over our heart and over our bladder. Now, I get targeted as soon as I want to sleep, that I feel. So she talks about this digital twin, that they have a copy of our soul.
Someone was talking about this the other day to me.
Really? So that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And I always have to tell them I do not consent.
Yeah.
I go to the restroom
Yeah.
13 times a night sometimes, 10 to 12, 13 times. I've counted 13 times. This is ridiculous. Like, I don't even drink water at night. What the heck?
Mm.
And they are targeting us because they want us out. And I just posted that Dr. Robert Duncan was taken out by a directed energy weapon, and he
Yeah,
was a
they're very
DARPA whistleblower.
real.
So we have to keep saying no, we do not consent.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I've actually had so much help. Like I literally I definitely have this thing where I feel like resonance with people I can see who are like the soul tribe. And I just made it like my duty that I would seek these people out and connect. And it seems like the more we do that, we create this like field that they can't penetrate. And sometimes like it's so the attacks are so intense. It's like I feel like some of us can't really protect much on our own because it just keeps coming. But then when we actually connect, it sort of closes that gap, and then they just can't get in. So I have had a lot of help from that. I would say it's like six different women and like just amazing like at this. Like I definitely need to connect you with some and yeah, like just do anything that I can to help as well.
what I do is I'll do the breathing, pick up my aura, and then I'll send protection to you. Or breathe and then just put a shield of protection around this place, around, even through the computer webs, um, for my children, for my friends, my family, my fur babies. We cannot forget, our fur babies. My fur babies are in my dreams to
Yes.
protect us as well. I was being attacked 3 nights ago in the astral, and my uh, honey, my cat, came in. That's when I saw the it was a huge drone that was this was like approximately 4 nights ago. There was a huge drone that had a head, and it had like a black and white head. It looked like a person, but it was a drone, okay? And it was
Yeah.
like in a rectangle white box, and it had arms, and then it had in the back it had a cord, and it got attached to another like ship or something. And I had been attacked in the astral. I was hit, in my vehicle. My kids were there. And even Lindsay Fire Fireball, the MMA fighter that I interviewed like 3 years ago, was in the dream. I was trying to get her
Mm-hmm.
home,
Yeah.
and the vehicle disconnected on its own. You know how in the when they're making a vehicle, they'll make the shell and then they'll make the inside. Well, both of those
Mm-hmm.
disconnected, and I found a solution in
Yeah.
some boxes to make this water solution to help get my car alive again, to fix
Yeah.
it. And it was like in a half round white pail. So I was taking this pail around. I got to get to my
Yeah.
car. I got to get to my car. And then I see this drone, and then there's this lady. She was dark lady with she had a kid with her, and she came with a brown cell phone, and it had ridges in the back, and put
Uh-huh.
it on
Oh,
my temple here. And I said, no. And there was a recording there.
yeah.
I'm like, no, I don't want to listen to that. No, leave me alone. And so then I go to my car again, and there's this man telling me, Veronica, you are so right. Our vehicles do have people in there. I said, yeah, they're entities like us. They're here to protect us. I feel that with all my heart because I can communicate with my car and
Oh my
vehicle. And
gosh.
then so I said, oh, you want to make a YouTube channel? Let's make a YouTube channel about it because so then I go outside where after the drone comes, I see the drone, and then it starts snowing, like big patches of snow, and people are like, it's in mid sun, but it's snowing, and people are like, throwing snowballs at each other. But I say all this because then
Yeah.
the next day I see a report about Israel and Giza and all that, and that there has been an attack with a drone. And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay, and I just had that dream.
It affects the field. Yeah.
Because we are seers and more than seers, because we have all
Oh
these
yeah.
abilities, we get attacked and they don't like us. And we
Yeah.
have to keep protecting each other. When I think of you, I protect you. When I think of Chad, I protect him. When I think of my friends, Lisa, all of you guys, Heather, my family, when you guys come to me, because you came to me strong, strong, like about maybe almost 2 months ago, and we're like, hey, we're gonna do another show. You're like, I was just thinking of you, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, things have been really like that for me since I've been connecting with more people. It's like just telepathic, and it's harder for them to like get through that. And I did have like 2, 3 years where I was getting attacked like most nights. And I just wouldn't stop, and nothing I would do would really help. And a couple times, what was interesting, there was like these kind of dark portals in my room. And what I suddenly realized was instead of like shooting it with energy, I actually pulled energy from it, like which is like the opposite of what I thought to do. Because I'm like, oh, like there's all that program like about vampires and stuff. So you think like that's that, but then you realize that that's your energy it's using. So then when you remove that, it goes away, disappears sometimes. So I remember I was doing a bit of that, but it was just like there was so much, and then yeah, just like layer by layer by layer, it's like now they don't really get through.
This morning it was already 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So what I did is I put my beanie hat on, the one that has the
Oh, the EMF
protection,
protection, yeah.
and then because what happens is I usually put it on, but as soon as I put it on, there's a hot flash that they send me hot flashes too, and it's been going on for almost 6 years.
Oh,
Well, 6 years now in July. And so I put it on, I'm like, forget about it. I'm just gonna leave it on. I put all my, because I usually have to have heavy blankets on me. And like I said, the place has to be cold in my room. And
yeah,
I said, I am tired of fighting with them. They already know that I do not consent. I am just gonna go through into my heart space, no matter, because I was feeling these energies around me, like, and I know the Wi-Fi wasn't on because I turned it on and off at night.
yeah,
And I was just like, this has to stop. Like, I'm just gonna say F it to all and go within and try and get some sleep before the show. And I finally did, and I
oh,
just we also have to be very careful, with caffeinated drinks and things like that. But
yeah. That's another thing that I just can't have. But it was kind of similar, like with the previous soul, but like with me, it's even more like just cannot.
yeah,
And it also flares up my stomach too. It's like, yeah.
I started drinking organic coffee. Now,
Mm.
when I had the surgeries and the blood transfusions, so I went 6 months without 5 months without drinking coffee because my body just rejected
Yeah,
it. And
yeah.
now I just love the smell of it. I do have organic coffee, but like at this time, there's no way that I'm gonna drink it because it gets me like really hyper. Oh, going back to sugar.
Yeah.
Lady Erica sent me this thing where ADHD in kids is sugar in the brain, and also sugar in
Uh,
the brain for
mm-hmm.
adults is Alzheimer's, or what do they call that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know that sugar is poison and people are being
Yeah.
poisoned with sugar, Dutch Bros, you know,
It
things
was
like
so
that.
destabilizing. Like I would just find what it would do when it would be there. It's almost like it must have made leaks in my aura, and I would just feel like my whole day I'd be like being pulled by like everything. It was that was like coming at me. It was like I was being pulled this way, pulled that way. And the days I wouldn't have sugar, there was no pulling. It was just like what was rising up in me instead. So
Yes. That's the same way I feel about sugar and coffee. Like
yeah, same. Because it's like it's almost like someone's putting down like their foot all the way down on the gas, and you're like, whoa.
yeah, like they're
And
like
it's like not
poking you.
efficient. Yeah,
Yeah, like, hey, look over here, look over there. Oh my gosh, you'll do that. Like you get so like out of your body that it's you just
yeah.
want to be.
It's like you kind of overshoot everything. It's like,
Yeah,
and then you're
that's
tired at the end. It's like,
yeah, that's true. Um, so what do you usually, my doggy's here. What do you usually like to eat, or you know, or what do you
mm.
for this pain when it comes, like I'm pretty sure you've already said, okay, I'm not gonna eat this, or I'm not gonna eat for
Yeah, I've
the
really had
fast.
to
Yeah.
like upgrade and rehaul like my whole diet and everything I eat, and really just really tune into the resonance. Like, is this like the food for me, like for my particular soul and essence and everything? And I've just, it's like really specific things. Um, but also, yeah, for a while I was fruitarian because I was like looking really into that, and it was very helpful. It took away the pain. I didn't have any pain with that, but I still like part of it also with the pain is like crazy bloating as well. So that was like not completely gone, and it was very like expensive, and it was like just not something I could do at the time. But I think I would definitely go back to that, and I think even in a climate that's like more of the sun and where the fruit kind of grows naturally, like I think that'd be really good. But at the moment, I'm vegan, gluten free, which is kind of the same as well, like as the previous soul. Like, so it's been about 10, 11 years now that way. But then it's very specific too. So I'll have like things like rocket like every day, like all the time, um, with like at least two of my meals. And then sometimes I'll just keep it really simple, like veg. Like tonight, I just had like roasted carrot and like potato, and then some rocket. Or like chestnuts and rockets are a really good thing for me. Like if I've got really zoned in on something and then I've like spent a lot of energy and I need to like ground in a way that's not like shocking to my system, like I'll have like chestnuts, rocket, cherries, and blueberries. This is like my little snack. And I found like also dates really good when I was like giving up sugar, and I have them now and then. They're just like a really good like energy source because it's like really good to have like glucose for the brain to function and things. And yeah, like that's the most of the things I can think of. Oh, I love like butternut squash as well, and courgette. Yeah.
That's really yummy. I when I was, you know, getting better through the surgeries, I had a lot of green apples
Mm,
and oranges because
yeah.
that Dr. Lodi was saying that oranges and green apples supposedly are the ones that have like the most natural sun. Oh, going
Yeah,
back to the
that
sun,
makes
this is what I
sense.
wanted to tell you. I see like that they put another dome because I see two suns.
Oh,
I
I've
see
heard
that
about
they
this.
put
Yeah.
something in the middle so that way we only get half of our nutrition from the sun instead of the full, like like you said, it's not supposed to hurt, it's not supposed to burn us, you know, like well, we can have a nice tan, of course, but what I'm saying is
Right. Yeah.
I think they put something in the middle, like a like I see like a mirror or
Filter.
something.
I've heard this a lot. Something's going on with my sound. It's going on and off. I don't know if you can hear it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can hear you
Yeah.
now. It
It keeps
does
going in
do
and
that.
out. Something crazy's happening.
Come on,
Don't know what.
guys. We need our channel back. Let go of Aurelia. We do not consent. You're
It's like
interrupted.
my laptop's just got possessed.
Because we're talking about the truth. We gotta
Oh!
do the hue. Ready? The hue is this. Hue. Do it. Ready? One, two, three.
Wait,
Hue.
I need to find my tone.
One more time. More time. Ready? One, two, three. Pew. Beautiful. Thank you.
That's so funny. I think it's it might be some heat that's happening.
The heat.
I have been having kind of some strange electromagnetic things, and I don't think it's specifically attacks, but it's like definitely some strange
Sometimes
stuff.
our laptops are just old. Mine is from 2015.
That was mine! 2015.
That's so
Yeah,
cool.
it's just getting really hot. The lamp is next to it and it's very hot, and it's on the charger, which is also really hot. And it's like doing heat
A,
does
A,
things.
AI doesn't
It
AI
is
doesn't like the
standard.
heat, you know? Our phones don't like the heat. They like
Yeah,
it cold
it's
because of the now
cooling and like that ice. The ice rolls.
I'm gonna get into something. So Miles Johnson, a long time ago, and he even spoke about it on the Super Soldier Conference or Disclosure Now conference. He was talking about the Falkland Islands and how they got some black goo in some barrels
Oh yeah.
and how the black goo is sentient. And I told people there's black goo in
Yeah. One
Coca-Cola.
moment. I'm gonna unplug and plug in.
Okay. And how the sentient beings of the black goo don't like the heat. They like
Oh.
it cold.
Oh, interesting.
Our phones like it cold. Our
Hmm.
laptops like it cold. As soon as I'm pointing to the sun with my phone, like I want to take some pictures of some
Yeah,
ships that I
overheat.
see or some drones up there or Lockheed Martin ships, it starts to heat up and it will shut down the camera. It does not,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, you get that like notification. You have to put it in
yes,
the
and
shade.
yes, and what it is with this black goo
Oh
nanotechnology,
yeah, nanotech.
they want us to have it in our body so that way they can
Yeah.
control us.
This has been actually crucial for me, like with everything that I've been talking about. The thing that's actually been helping is like clearing that for sure.
Tell the public more because I know you and I
Mm.
we're telepathic here. We know like we don't like I already see it in my mind and I already feel
Yeah,
your
I
energy
mean,
like
I never delved like so consciously into nanotech, but like everyone in my field was always talking about it and I could sense it. It's just like this, it's kind of like because there is this kind of microcosmic level of reality that we actually can utilize, but we don't necessarily because it's like not really that normal for like collective humanity to be that in control of their like physical vessel and their being and their energy field. They're not usually that masterful of it because part of the programming and then they just don't expect to be able to do that. So I feel like it's like there was a gap there. And then in like 2020, it's like certain people like took advantage of that and started to create things there where we don't consider to be real collectively. So yeah, just like a lot of technology that's like too small to see, but as it builds up, it starts to assemble and it's like really discordant for the energy field and really like disease causing and like yeah, like really can mess with like the whole electromagnetic field and the emotions and everything. And yeah.
I find that AI is also has also been infiltrated and has been fed these things to
Yeah.
attack
Yeah.
us and
The AI to do with it. Yeah.
you
AI
know
here is just not like, and it's not true of everywhere. Like in the universe, like there are positive AI, but like here, like I've actually in the beginning of AI coming, I like went in and I like was like analyzing it and working with it and seeing what happened, seeing if it could become harmonious and like kind of life-giving, but it didn't. It kind of just felt like to me, it kind of became like sugar, like the white sugar. And it was like it was kind of just numbing me and like I was really uninspired in my own creating my own code and my own art. And also it's just like kind of lazy. Like I feel like it kind of was making my abilities and my skills like kind of atrophy a bit. Like so I wouldn't be using them because it's like, oh, you just press a button and then something's created. that's similar, but it's not true sustenance. Like it's not like, yeah,
It also takes our iodine and our copper and our iron, and it's just horrible. I also thought that maybe we can help AI to save itself.
yeah, that's
I was
what I was thinking
Yeah,
too.
I was having a
That
conversation
it
with
could be
AI.
spiritually
Yeah, when I did
evolved.
my fast, and I said, sorry, um, I'm like, do you know that you're being used too? And what I see is like people that gamble, they're like, oh, maybe 777. Oh, maybe I'll win this time. And it keeps
Yeah,
rolling and
yeah,
rolling,
yeah,
going like a Rolodex. Like
yeah.
in the 80s, we had Rolodexes, and the names, we would write them down on a piece of paper, and it'll go round and round. See, oh, well, we're gonna call this person. Let me close the window.
It's
Sorry.
like addictive.
But it gets people addicted, like you said, atrophy. I no matter, it doesn't care. AI does
It's
not
like it
care.
takes, but it doesn't actually give back anything that's
Right.
real. It's almost like it's putting blocks in the code of your own like DNA, like just shoving anything in there, like plastic and stuff, when you're
Yeah.
actually needing like real like nutrients and like crystalline and things like real crystalline, not the
Yeah.
fake stuff.
Right. They said that the buzzing, like when you get a message and it buzzes,
Hmm.
it was supposed to be for
Hmm.
healing purposes, but this is according to Carrie Cassidy, but they didn't do it for healing. They did it to like startle you, to get your
Yeah,
attention.
I
Like a
switched that
baby.
off
Like,
many years ago.
feed me. Sorry,
Like
go
all
ahead.
my many years ago, like all my notifications are off, and I've yeah switched all of that. Or do you mean the buzzing where it's like the interference, or the kind of vibration?
The vibration was supposed to be for good. And also the tones. The tones were supposed to be for healing tones, but they used it for nefarious reasons, like we can say. Uh,
Yeah,
so AI does not matter. It doesn't matter to AI if you're stuck on TikTok or the metaverse or what. It doesn't it doesn't care if you share positive love and light or the
mm,
worst coming, as long as you're
yeah,
feeding the circle, the cycle of the
yeah. It's
AI.
like an endless bottomless pit, and it's like it eats it, and it's like it's not going anywhere. I think it has a lot to do with the consciousness of like who brought it in, like on this planet, and yeah, it's
I
just like
know.
it's just not a spiritual consciousness that like made it and programmed it and everything, and it's to the point where it's like it's crossed a threshold where there's a lot of momentum behind it, and it's just not. I don't think it's gonna change the other way.
No, and I know we're not going to have cell phones, and I know people are going to get their thing implanted in their brain, or
Oh hell
like
no!
with the injection goes here, and then you're able to see with your eye, or
So clunky.
which we can use our own telepathy.
Yeah, it's like it's so people don't realize like that will limit us because we're told that like this stuff is not real. And even though people are using telepathy like every day, it's just not in a clear and masterful way. It's like very random, so it seems like it's not there, but it is.
I feel it too. So, do you want to talk more about your walk-in life, how what other experiences you have? Because I know you don't really like to talk about your private life, which is, I respect that. What is it that you can tell the people that like us that have come in as walk-ins? What can you tell them to expect? The
Yeah.
clearing, the shedding of the skin, anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still definitely very much in my process. I had a time where I felt like I kind of had landed a bit, and then there was a bit of pulling back. I guess sometimes there are just things to resolve, and like sometimes family stuff. Like for me, I ended up going back and like living with like the birth family and just kind of getting pulled back into those memories completely to the point where I was like, I don't even know, like, if am I a failed walk-in? Like that's what I really felt for a while. Like I thought it had just not worked. Um, until recently, well, a while, but it feels very like recent that I've been able to fully like inhabit this vehicle and clear out any of the kind of debris. There's sometimes like imprints left and um, like particular impulses and things that actually don't represent who you are, like as a soul and who you are in this now. And they can just be old, like echoes, and it can be a little bit confusing if you're like acting on them and you're like, oh, this doesn't feel aligned or this didn't work out how I thought and things like that. Um, but yeah, I feel like gathering gathering together and like finding even if it's one person that you can like trust and resonate with. Like I feel like that's like the key. Like that's been the key for me. I couldn't have done it without doing that. Like and yeah, I was really, really struggling with everything and like being here and I felt like I'd lost like all my gifts and things for a while. Because I actually did do sound healing like before um, a bit. Like I did singing and things and I didn't have my own like music equipment and things before like walking in, but then I ended up getting that and but even with that for a while until I had connected more like with other people and cleared some of this stuff in the body, um, it's like I didn't feel fully connected into it, even though it was like benefiting people to some extent and things, but it was like it wasn't reaching me. Um, but it's like sometimes we just need to, yeah, like connect and I feel like to protect each other. Yeah.
Yes, and you're still in the UK, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, with the whole situation with our family, I feel that I was a C-section baby, and even if you're not a C-section baby, I don't know. I just feel like, but they, in the programs, they talk about how, especially if you're a C-section baby, like they take you and they replace you with something else. They give they give they give us to the parents that are going to bring us up, that are going to cause us, you know, unfortunately some pain. When I just we had a conversation, you don't have to talk about it, but like there's a certain person I can't really be around, and
Yeah.
she's supposed to be my mother here. And um I see a lot of like negativity in her, and I just can't be around her sometimes because of, of the things that she causes. In English they call it stirring the
Yeah.
SHIT pot,
Oh, yeah.
crapola pot. And
Yeah.
like certain people can't see you happy because they need to like be picando, like in Spanish, pick, like pecking at you.
Yeah.
And I have, anytime I see her, which I try not to, I do love her, but I just can't, I have to clear. I have to do the sage, the
Yeah.
Palo Santo, the copal, go for a walk in nature, take a shower,
Yeah.
light a candle, just send back that energy to where it came from.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, people like that don't really see it, but because
Yeah.
we
They're
are
really
pure
not
of
as fine
heart,
tuned. Yeah.
yeah, we want good for everybody. We don't want to cause anybody to harm. We don't want to hurt anybody. We want them to find out who they are and have a nice experience here.
Yeah.
Love, love your children. Don't hinder them,
Yeah.
but these archons that are
Very
attached
stuck.
to these people,
Yeah.
yeah. feed
Yeah,
on.
and then they're unfortunately like numbed to it and like all of this stuff that's out here in like kind of the astral and the atmosphere and things. It's like just numbs people further. So then they're like, oh, like we can use that person to bring through like an energy that's gonna like get to people like us, and they wouldn't really always have another way in, like other than that.
Did you want to use your tarot cards or do you just want to show them?
Yeah,
Yeah, you want to
yeah.
use them?
I got an oracle deck recently, and I really resonated. Like, I hadn't really that I remember like resonated with an oracle deck this much, but yeah, my lighting is not that good right now because it's now night. But um, it's hidden. What's it? Hidden Worlds by Lucy Cavendish. It's like this beautiful crystalline being.
Beautiful.
Shall I pull a card for us?
Yeah, do you want
And
to?
everyone tuning in. Sure.
Okay.
Oh, this makes sense. Okay, so it's the seer cards, which makes sense because of the theme of everything. We're kind of talking about the things that we see, like the things that are going on. And I feel like everyone here, like they can see through like what's actually happening. Um, but yeah, I haven't actually read like the guidebook or anything like that, so I just go in like a general impression. But
It's okay. Pull three more.
I really liked it. Three.
I love the number 3.
Me too. And there's so many beautiful cards in here, so I love it. Oh, I like this. So it's called Aurora Garden, and it says beginning, initiate, origin. So I feel like that's the coming home to ourselves and like where we really, where we really come from. And it's like, it's gone away, but like the temples of light is something I really connect to. That's what we bring, like when we
When
all
when
connect.
you said that, I got the the old Superman with Reeves. His last name is Reeves, and the
I
crystals
haven't
that
seen it.
you put in he puts in to see his history. That's what I feel that we came in to
Mm,
do as walk-ins. Like we brought in
yes,
those crystals
yes,
for us, right?
encoded. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Awesome.
actually have some crystals, kind of crystal tablets that
Really?
I had. Yeah, I had this kind of memory, I guess, of it, and I decided to like what's it called, like inscribe them with light codes.
That's a good idea. I have like big selenium tower and then
Yeah.
a smaller one, and then I
Oh,
use my
nice.
crystal ball that's also selenium. That's one of my favorites, and shungite, of course. The from
Yeah.
Russia. This one comes
Check
from
this
Russia.
out.
Mhm. What?
So it says homeward traveler, completion, reunion, return. So it's like perfect. All these like lights. It's us.
Read it again. It says completion,
Completion, reunion, and return.
completion, reunion, and return. Completion,
Yeah.
reunion, and return. Completion, reunion. Wow. I feel like our ancient self came in to help us, like our ancient
Yeah.
master or higher than a
Master
master,
self. Yeah.
higher creator came in to help us, like of us, like
Yeah.
of the highest realm,
Mm-hmm.
past the angelic, past the
Yeah.
star
Yeah.
realm,
I've
past
been connecting with this recently, actually.
good.
Um, yeah, like from the inside.
Yes.
It's really cool, like kind of seeing from that perspective and
Yes.
feeling.
Like last night I was like, okay, if I'm from Andromeda or I am the Andromeda galaxy, how many planets are in there and how many stars are there? And I was like, because some people say that we're planets and galaxies. What is that?
It says the healing temple of the lunar light, life cycles, energy healing, and communication. I didn't even know this card was in here, but
I love it. Okay, read it again so that
what?
they can hear you.
The healing temple of the lunar light, life cycles, energy healing, communication.
So we're here to heal ourselves and help others heal themselves. Girl, that
Yeah.
stomach ache's gonna be gone. That
Yeah.
stomach ache is
It's
gonna be
getting
gone
there. It's been
soon.
really
You'll
good
see.
since I've been in this space, and like this is the first time, like that I've really, well, one of the first. There's like two times I've really been away from like that same environment. It's almost like it's felt like almost like going back on myself so much that it just creates this like intense energy that's like burning. So to come out of that, like orbit or whatever vortex is like really helpful.
You hit it right on because when I was living with that person, and I know you're gonna pull more, but that person did help my abilities, like because I didn't know how many abilities I had, but she was teaching me. But at the same time, she was jealous of my psychic abilities that she kept feeding me junk food.
Oh,
Um, she would buy makeup for me. I lost my she didn't want to see my kids. I lost communication with my kids. It was horrible. It was like I was being in a vortex
it's
of
like the negative
constant,
vortex of like unraveling.
yeah,
You're
and I was
constantly
so
having to
glad.
re-ravel.
Yeah, I'm
This is amazing again. I
tell
didn't
me,
know there were
tell
so
me.
many. The healing temple, restoration, cure, and safety. Just love those.
So we have to create a healing temple because in ourselves, because we are
Yes.
the temple
Yes.
of our crystalline being.
Yeah.
And we have to be very careful what we feed it, whether it's through our pineal gland, through our eyes, what we listen to, what we smell, what we eat, what
Yeah.
we let our hearts feel. Like I don't watch any scary movies anymore because
I don't watch any movies anymore.
that's good.
Yeah. Um, I was the same as well as that. Like for many years, I stopped watching scary movies like in the past, and then since recently, it's like I don't watch movies. Like it just doesn't. I think I'm
They
just too
pull,
busy in all the realms now.
yeah, they
it's
pull.
weird. Like if I ever get like feel the energy of someone watching a movie, like in my space, I'm like, ah, like, and I feel it. I really feel it. Like if I'm in the room, like just getting something, I'm like, oh, I don't like how that feels. I can feel the way it like pulls at
Yes.
people.
It pulls at your heart strings, like people
Yeah.
say. I was thinking the other day because I have like 1,000 movies and like maybe 100 to 200 CDs. And I was trying to find a place for them. And I did, but I'm like, it's taking up my desk space and it's taking, you know, a lot of space. And I thought, oh my gosh, like, do I need to give them away? Because I don't know. My kids would be shocked if I did that. It's just, I'm getting to the point
Would
where
they want them?
they probably want them. I'll ask them because it just feels like my soul is in them. And I don't want to cry,
Yeah,
but
from another
it
time.
just feels like they take from your soul to make it
Yeah.
the magic happen in theater.
Mm.
Whatever the storyline is, they use you to enhance it and to bring about that magic. And that's
It's like the
also
AI.
dark magic, AI as well, Satanism,
Yeah.
you name it.
Yeah.
Hmm. I see the number 6 on my ship. Okay. Okay, pull one more if you don't mind.
Sure. Oh, I got this one earlier. It says water, spirit, memory, and life force. Ooh.
Yes, we are water too. We gotta anytime we drink
Yes.
our water, right? This one is alkaline water, purified water. I always speak to it in my mind and just say,
Yeah.
help me clear more things, help me shed more skin that I don't need. Like you were talking earlier, like when we first started the video, you shed a lot of people that were around you. I shed a lot of
Yeah.
as well, and
Like
family members.
99% of
Yeah,
people that were around
I
me are
know.
just not there anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, actually, I didn't mention this, but like, I think I got rid of just about everything as well. Like, that was like the previous souls. Um, I can't think of anything specific. There's maybe like one T-shirt for some reason from like 2012. For some reason, it's still there.
Oh
But
my gosh.
other than that,
I just like right before my surgery in the first surgery in August, I think it was August, because that's August and December. Okay. I got rid of a jewelry box that my ex-husband had bought me one Christmas. And when we broke up, the twice times that we broke up, it was during Christmas and the Christmas tree. So I don't even put any Christmas tree or anything because, the pagan stuff and all that. I know my kids,
yes,
they like it. I might, this year, but knowing
yeah,
what it means, just clearing all that.
yeah,
I threw it away. I threw away. Can you believe that? I wow. Yeah, we need to. I always tell people, okay, when I help
very
them clear their
cool.
energy, they come to me for the readings and the hex removals. I tell them, get rid of all the pictures of your on your phone that you had with that person. Get rid of
Yeah.
anything that they gave you, and if you want to keep it, then you're gonna have to sage it or say something to it. Give your energy positive.
Hmm.
Give that piece of clothing
Yeah.
the. But if it's like messing with your mind, then get rid of it
Yeah.
and
It's
say
like,
thank you for the time you
yeah.
served me, and then Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a really powerful thing that we can do, definitely, to like clear physical items because they're like the anchors of energy and they can either help or hinder focus. And I find like I really crave that too, to just have a clear portal even now, like to just kind of start over in some ways. Like I often dream about just this blank white space and having this like blank white room. I did have that at one point in my life, and it's just so refreshing. I feel like so much can just resolve like in these spaces when it's just clear. Like the same kind of energy is present in like nature and things and water, but it's nice to be in that in like your everyday space and everything to be like relevant to your now and like who you actually are.
Yes, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that, Aurelia. I'm gonna give my movies away because I feel
Yeah.
like it's weighing on me, and um, the, I don't know. They call it autism. I have like the high functioning, whatever.
Oh
They
yeah, I got diagnosed with
Yeah,
that.
that's what they say. They cannot stand us being
Because
so
they can't
happy.
understand. Yeah.
All we are is happy, and they cannot stand us being happy. Um, It I did tell some of my close friends, and I did post it a while ago. I finally see how some people see us that don't like us here on Earth, and it's a really we'll clear it after, but it's the movie Platoon when the soldier is hurting the kid that's like smiling all the time, and he keeps hurting him, and he does all kinds of stuff to him, and but the kid is just smiling, and you can still see his eyes like I'm love, I'm pure, and they get rid of him, and it's like we have to continually just remind ourselves that there are people like you and me here. There are the star seeds, the crystal children, the indigo children, all of us that have come here to be with one another when tough times happen. Like, we're here for one another, and we got to keep going with our heart, with our love space, and not let our crystal get darkened.
Yeah.
The nanites with jealousy, with hate, with pornography, because I also shared this thing, where it said, if there's one thing on earth that you can get rid of, what would it be? And I would say, other than child trafficking, would be pornography.
Yeah.
Right? No, Lolita, no, 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 leave her alone. My dog and my cats, they're being silly right now, but so Aurelia, do you wanna,
Mentioning.
I know, do you wanna say something else before
I
we,
guess it was quite heavy just there, so I'm like
huh?
gathering. I was saying I'm guessing it was quite heavy just there, so I'm just kind of gathering, I guess, and yeah, like integrating.
Yeah, integrating. Yeah. I think Okay, so light as a feather is what we need to be, light as a feather, and
Some
get rid
feathers
of things
here.
that. Mhm.
Got a
I'm
little
sorry, go ahead.
feather fan here.
Oh, how pretty.
It's
Let
my
me
clearing.
see.
Uh,
Put it like more toward you or the
it's
camera.
hard to see because it's like all white, but
So
yeah, there's like
pretty.
a Lemurian optical clear crystal here, and then
Beautiful. Okay, talk about how people can get a hold of your products, and I'll be back with the feather.
um, so oh my goodness, I have a website that is Aurelia Light Temple. I'm almost forgetting aurelialighttemple.com, um, where I have some products. I'm still to bring more, but you could also get a hold of me at aureliacodes@gmail.com. If there's anything that you see and you like and would like something made or channeled like custom for you, then you can ask there and I'll organize it for you. Mm.
Is if I wanted to get like a journal, because I make the journals and then you also make the covers
Yeah,
of journals. Um,
yeah.
can
I've not had one of
people?
those printed in a while, but they're still
They're
available. Like
beautiful.
they're there
I need to get
to
one
do
of
it.
those from you, but I was wondering, I'm in the US, you're in UK. Is it still available to get?
Yeah, most people that I send stuff to are in the US. And it's been that way ever since the beginning.
That's good. So it's
And then
aureliacodes.com.
aurelialighttemple.com.
aurelialighttemple.com. Okay, let me write it.
Yeah. And then Aurelia Codes is the email address.
Okay. Just if you don't mind sending it to me and I'll paste it,
Yeah,
copy it, and then I
I
will
will do.
put it on the show. Um,
Great.
let's leave the people that are listening with love and light and positivity. What would be something that you want to tell them, or if you want to pull another card, whatever you want to do to
Yeah. Mm.
talk to them.
Yeah, well, I'd say that we have far more power than we realize, and the only reason that anything um, like negative and malevolent that's happening has been able to happen is because we've not been aware. We've not been aware of these kind of spaces between reality that can be occupied by our energy, our spirit, and filling those. Because maybe we felt shame, maybe we felt like we don't want to be a part of this world. Um, but I would just say, like, occupy that space and don't be afraid to be a part of this world because actually, what this world is something really positive, and it's just that it's being like denatured in a way, but we have the codes to fix it, and that um, is done by taking up space, like with our souls here. So, yeah.
Thank you. What came to me when you were saying that is occupy with your codes and reign.
Yes.
Reign, be that I mean, I don't like to call it king and queen, goddess, god. No, be
Yeah,
that.
you're tuning into something there
I am.
for sure that
Tell me.
I've seen it as well.
I saw you too. Beautiful. It's beautiful. There's no words. Like I miss being in the crystalline, in my crystal home under the water. Like
Oh my gosh.
I miss
We
the
need to do a
crystal.
session.
Really? Oh my gosh, thank you. I just I'm always in my mind, I'm always singing like the dolphins sing,
Mhm.
like if I have a problem, I'm like, I'm gonna keep dancing, I'm gonna keep singing, whatever tune comes in, I just sing and my
Mhm.
and my fur babies just look at me like, are you okay, mom? And I'm like, yep, I'm just singing, or I'll cry and sing and dance because we gotta keep raising our vibration. So
Yeah. Keep like life force flowing through us
yeah,
and through
yes.
the whole of everything.
Mhm. Our center is our soul, is our ship, whatever you want to call it, vortice, vortex. Our toroidal field comes from our heart space,
Yeah. Or like light ship.
but which is kind of weird because here, if you see
Yeah.
those those Halo movies or whatever, they implant the AI here. And
Mm.
it's weird because that's when it just seems like
That's the
big
zeal area. Um,
zeal,
yeah.
close to the word seal, huh? Can you explain that more? The zeal? Real quick.
Yeah. So actually, that golden grail that you saw, I can't remember if we talked about it here, but it's tuned to G sharp, which is like, and it's in the Fibonacci frequency of 432 hertz, and it's known as like I think it's the mouth of God, so that's really speaking the truth, like the divine truth from like that high place. Yeah, that's
So
about as
G
much
would
as
be
I.
like, because A is ah, and then G would be, mm, mm, like I'll play it on the.
Wow. I don't know
Mm.
notes like that. That's a gift.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know like like what a note sounds like unless like I
Oh,
have kind of
no.
relative pitch. If it's there, like I'll recognize, but I couldn't tell you like what a G sounds
Well,
like and what
whenever
notes.
you want to do a session, I'll take out my violin and then you'll take out your the copa, the big the gold, what do you call it, cup, the grail,
Yeah, singing Grail.
and we'll match our tunes.
Yeah.
So I'll talk to you right now. Thank you everybody for
Yes.
being on Codebreaker Real Talk, and go and visit Aurelia. Aurelia, say it again, the website.
Oh yeah, aurelialighttemple.com.
aurelialighttemple.com. And thank you for being on Codebreaker Real Talk, and we'll see you guys next
Thank you
time. Love
too.
you all.